Hello and welcome to part 1 of finishing a forged knife. This is part 1 of a series, I'm not sure how long, but anywho. The first thing that I did was to grind off all the black oxide off of the knife from it being in the forge. I just did this with a bench grinder and a pretty fine bench grinder wheel. Just decided to forge it as spring steel because spring steel is, well, a spring, so it should be able to take a bit of abuse if I heat treat it right. So now that I'm done with the rough grinding of the knife, I'm going to go on to hand sanding. Now, to have the best variety of sandpaper right now, it's got a bit of a jump from like 60 grit to 320 grit, so it doesn't have that much of a finish when I'm done. It's a bit annoying, but... So after I have it sanded to a decent satinish finish, I'm going in for the heat treat. Now I'm getting the knife up to cherry red just by a method called painting on heat. It's just running the knife back and forth over the heat until it reaches critical temperature, which is just past when the magnet no longer sticks to it. I've done it enough to where I don't have to really test it with a magnet. I know about where it is without having to do that. Now I'm dipping it in old motor oil. Motor oil works fine for spring steel. It hardens. I know that from using that before, but... Off camera, I scrubbed the knife with dish soap just to get rid of the oily black crap that gets on it after you heat treat. And now I'm going to start sanding it with the roughest first and then going down up to about 600 grit. Once again, this is a very long and boring process, so yeah. Sanding is probably the longest process in the knife making. This knife took me probably 1.5 to 2 hours of just hand sanding. But you have to do that if you want any kind of finish in the end. Once I'm done hand sanding and I have it up to 600 grit, I'm going to buff it just on a bench grinder with a buffing wheel I got off eBay.